favorite Pisces, me. What's going on, y'all? It's your girl, Sammy Callie J. Today's video is a special one, near and dear to my heart. So for those of you who do not know, I signed my life away. I joined the military. I am in the U.S. Army. And 1 year ago today, this is being recorded on December 5th. A year ago today, I graduated basic combat training. So today's video will be my wonderful experience in Army basic combat training. Let's get right into it. The enlistment process was pretty quick for me. I enlisted in August. Within a week, I was good to go, past the medical and all of this stuff. And when I say medical, I mean
they check down to your ass crack. Not even exaggerating.
Yeah, that was very intimate. Okay. So you go through that, you take an exam. It has like several different sections just to see, you know, what's your area, what's your thing, what's your niche. Cool. And then you get a date, long story short. Some people have more extensive processes because they got a lot of personal stuff going on. I was like what they called me, a
unicorn.
It was easy. Nothing was wrong. Nothing came up. Good. Lucky me. So that was August 12th. Within a week, I had a date. They told me September 23rd, you're out of here. September 23rd comes. And everyone was going to different locations for training. So there were 11 of us, and they sent us together. So we had to leave from New York. Then we had to go to where? North Carolina? And then get another flight to South Carolina because we were going to Fort Jackson. So yeah, 11 of us were together. We were the New York crew. We were like having a blast. Like, those are still my guys to this day. Shout outs to y'all if y'all watching this. Yeah, so we're laughing and just having a blast, you know, because these are our final hours, you know, of fun. Yeah. So we're laughing it up, having a good time. Finally, we get to South Carolina. So we're thinking, right? We're thinking we're going to get out the airport and someone's going to pick us up from the airport and take us to the location. And that's when all this scary shit is going to start happening.
That ain't how it went.
We get to South Carolina. We grab our bags. We're walking to the part where you leave the airport. And I just remember it was like something out of a scary movie. We were like laughing, like, ha ha, yo, you stupid, bro, you a clown. We turn this corner and automatically you see the hat. Now, if you're not familiar with the drill sergeant hat, when you're new, that's the scariest damn hat you've ever seen in your life. Okay. So we turn this corner and we see the hat. Smiles, laughs, cut instantly. All you hear is,
get the down here right now.
I'm like, damn, can we get out the airport first before y'all start this shit? So yeah, so now we're like hauling ass because he is not playing. He is very serious right now. And we all have to stand there and we have to be quiet. And everything just went to hell from there. So they get us, they take us to the site. You get there, mind you, now it's night. It's dark as hell, okay? And we're all on this bus. And they already started the separation. At this point, females and males will not be together unless need be. So a bunch of females were on this bus. We pull up to the location and they have freaking Stretch standing there. This dude is like, what it looked like he was about 6'5", lanky as hell, but he's just standing in the dark. So all you see is this lanky ass silhouette with that hat on. And we were all on this bus like, oh my God, how do I get off this bus? He comes on the bus with a blowhorn.
You have 30 seconds to get them off my bus. Move it!
That was the scariest 30 seconds of my life. We are all like pushing each other to get off this bus. We're standing there. Some people are already there. Everyone else who's in the airport pulls up. And they are on our ass like white on rice. And they're just telling, get down. start doing push-ups. If you were like me, you were not very physically active before this, so push-ups was kicking my ass. So yeah, so this place was called reception. So this is where you get all your uniforms, because at this point you're not wearing anything you came with. Civilian clothes out the door. If it ain't from the army, you ain't wearing it. And I mean your panties, your drawers, your bra, your undershirt, your socks. If it didn't come from them, you wouldn't wearing it no more. So you just could pack it up in your little bag. That's why I tell you, don't even bring a lot of stuff. Just bring toiletries, some socks, and some drawers to hold you over till you get them stuff. So ain't no suitcase and all of this happening. So we get to reception. This is where you start learning the basic fundamentals of the greetings and the courtesies and how you speak to people. All of this, the routine, waking up 6 o'clock in the morning to do PT, physical training, exercise, whatever the hell. Yeah, so this is like a shock to most people's body at this point. Now, considering that it was the end of September and it was South Carolina, I was like, okay, I know South Carolina's hot, but I'm like, it's like fall now, so South Carolina should be like 70s, you know, a little cool or whatever. In the mornings, it was like 20 degrees. And by 11 o'clock, it was like 99 every day. And we had on all of these clothes. Y'all know what our uniforms look like. Had on all of that. Combat boots, jacket, pants, hat, all of it. It's 99 degrees.
And as soon as you look at them the wrong way, they got pissed off and they would just tell you to drop and start doing push-ups. And it's 99 degrees outside.
Sorry, the trauma's coming back. So yeah, that was that. So we're thinking this is the first week of training, right? And then the first week passes and they're like,
Huh? You thought this was week 1? This is week 0. The fun hasn't even started yet.
The fun hasn't started yet. Week 0.
what? So yeah, so they call that week 0 because that doesn't count towards any of your training. That was literally just what it's called, reception. They receive us, they give us what we need, they break us in before the real fun begins. Okay, so day 7 or 8, whatever. They split us up into groups. They did it by last name, so it was like A to G, H to M, N to Q, R to Z, right? It was like 4 groups. And then they color coded our bags for when it got to the next location, and they told us stay in these groups. Okay, we get to the actual training site. First of all, on the way there, you're holding your duffel bag in your lap on this bus, and you're told to keep your face in the duffel bag. Ain't no looking up, ain't no looking around. Because at this point, there's a drill sergeant on the bus just standing, just waiting for somebody to lift their damn head up. So yeah, that wasn't happening. Now, many of us were prepared for this because we had been watching, you know, YouTube videos. Like me, I was going to bed with nightmares every night prior to this because I was watching videos of all of this on YouTube every night, just traumatizing myself before the trauma even came. Or if you knew someone who was in, so you knew this was coming.
So this is what they called shark attack.
So you get off the bus. You have a heavy duffel bag with all of this stuff they done gave you now in this duffel bag. And you are fully in uniform, combat boots and everything once again. You get off the bus, and what seems like 10,000 drill sergeants are all surrounding the bus, screaming at the top of their lungs in your face, in your ear, and they're telling you, get your ass, and they are screaming, yelling.
It's literally just them, but it feels like there's bombs dropping and fires and explosion. Like, it just seems like the most dramatic shit ever at that moment.
And they're literally running like side by side with you. Get that duffel bag on your head. Don't you drop it. Don't drop it. And I have anxiety problems. That definitely was not what I needed because
Between you and me, I definitely pissed on myself. I'm not gonna lie. No shame in my game. I definitely definitely pissed off myself. The past is past. Anyway.
So yeah, so they're screaming at you and they tell you, lift the bag up, drop it, lift the bag up, drop it, lift the bag up, drop it, get that damn bag on you. And they're screaming in your face like this freaking close. I'm like, hey, you get any closer, like you might have to take me to dinner after this.
Not the dinner.
You've been to kiss me at this point. So the first 3 weeks they called it red phase. Red phase was about breaking us down, and I mean breaking us down to the core, you know. Because all that civilian stuff that you was on, you know, they call people who are not service members civilians, okay? So you're like, you're not a civilian anymore. You are a U.S. soldier. Well, technically, we're trainees. And that's all you heard the whole damn training. Trainee, because you're not a soldier yet. So at this point, we're trainees. We're not civilians anymore. So they're trying to break you down to the core. Like, you had to dig for strength you might not have known you even had. Because I swear, I discovered a strength that I really did not know I possessed. Swear to God. So they're calling you all kinds of names. A lot of people get injured because they've never been this physically active.
And then if you got physically injured, they called you a tank. I was a tank at one point. It was kind of very sad. That whole, the beginning was just so rough for me physically. Oh my goodness.
At one point, I was wishing that I had did this shit straight out of high school because I would have been more, physically able to handle it. But mentally, I would have cried and been sent home already. So I think all the traumas I went through prior kind of helped me mentally. It's just the physical wasn't really doing it. Yeah, they just broke it at the core. Every morning you woke up, got the day started with some PT, solid shit. Yeah. The eating was different. Oh my God, the food at first, I was like, what in the trash can? Yeah, the food wasn't doing it for me initially, but something about when you have no choice but to eat it started tasting real damn good. Sure do, yeah. Then the next 3 weeks, they called it white phase. So white phase was about learning how to be the number one thing that it takes to be a soldier in the army, a shooter. So yes, this is when we started going to the ranges and learning how to shoot and learning, different levels of qualification because you were not graduating if you couldn't shoot, okay? So we were learning how to shoot targets and switch up positions and all of this stuff. So that was the motto, White phase was like, are you a shooter or you not? Pretty much, the whole concept. At this point, it's a little better. Red phase, now you can actually crack a smile or laugh. Don't be having too much fun now. Don't get it twisted. But red phase, it was like, you bet not even smile. You bet not even look at one too long because they'll be in your face like this. Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to fight me? You want to fight me, trainee? You look at me up and down? I just wanted to see who was talking to us. Okay.
The last 3 weeks was called blue phase. Blue phase is when they were a little more nicer to us, And they weren't all scary. Some of them were decent people, but obviously they have to do their job and be all scary. But some of them were just real life scary or miserable, hated life, whatever. Not my problem. Hope they worked that out. Yeah. So blue phase, they were a little nicer. Now we can ask them questions like, hey, drill sergeant, how long have you been in? What was your last duty station? Personal questions. We can actually converse with them respectfully, But then there was always that one person that would ruin it and be like,
you ever killed a man? Like, don't nobody want to know that. You ever seen a man die? Like, come on now. And then they would just ruin it for everybody. And then, yeah.
Let me see. What were some highlights? So I was in a platoon or a group squad for, to put it in layman's terms. And we could not count. When I say we, I don't mean me because numbers are not my issue. But as a whole, we couldn't count. So that used to get us smoked a lot. Or should I say physically disciplined a lot. And then what made it worse is there were 60 of us in the group. So imagine they tell us, because anytime we had to form up or whatever, if we separated and came back together, everything was about accountability, making sure that no one was lost or had the courage to run away. Anyway, so we always had to count ourselves off. So there was 60 people in my group. So imagine getting to number 57 and the next person goes 59.
You had to start over. It was just so bad. Like sometimes they would mess up at 3. Like it would be like 1, 2, 5. What? You're the 3rd person. How? So that was frustrating. And the more you had to start over, is the more they got pissed off. And then next thing you know, we're all on the floor doing push-ups.
Oh, learning how to shoot was an absolute nightmare for me. Let me tell you why. So, one, obviously, I had never shot a weapon before, so that was something to get accustomed to, right? Cool. So it was just really taking me a long time because they wanted us to zero. So the problem wasn't that I couldn't shoot the target. The problem is they first wanted us to practice like keeping a tight shot group. So basically just shooting in one area, right? And we'd practice 5 at a time. So I would get 4 right in the circle, and then the 5th one would be like, see ya. Like, it was beyond me, yeah. So that just kept happening to me. So it took me forever just to zero. Once I finally got past that nightmare and I was ready to like start shooting the moving targets, my drill sergeant broke off the iron sight. So we had M4s, and there's an iron sight, and you have to look through it. Shoot, he broke that off. So now I'm just aimlessly shooting.
Hitting other people's targets, not even on my lane anymore. Just, so then I couldn't shoot. I had to wait to get a new one while everyone else was qualifying. So that was annoying, yeah.
I was injured a lot. My knees I went in with Meg knees. I currently have Golden Girl knees right now. Yes. Yeah, it was just physically kicking my ass. But when I tell you, at the end, I pulled through, something came over me, and I got through it, and I was just really proud of myself. Yeah. Oh, I ended up being there for Thanksgiving. That was marvelous. They didn't do too bad that day with the food. They actually went out their way. That day, they actually had like the drill sergeants and officers and stuff actually serving us and sitting with us and eating. So that was pretty cool. You know, it made us feel a little less shitty about life. But when I tell you I left there fit, your girl was looking real right, okay? You ever seen What's Love Got to Do With It with Angela Bassett when she played Tina Turner? See how toned she was in that movie? That was me. Arms was, okay, 6-pack, V-cut, can tell me nothing.
Do I have that V-cut and that 6-pack right now? You in my business, don't do that.
But yeah, that was a year ago. Since then, I have ended up in Germany. I love Germany. I wanted to be overseas. My dream duty station was Italy. Didn't get it. Obviously now, due to COVID, it's not the best place to be right now. They're getting better though, but you know, maybe after this, fingers crossed. But yeah, in Germany, loving it. Am I a fan of my specific location in Germany? But Germany on a whole, love it, yes. But yeah, on that note, you know, if any of you are actually planning to join or considering it and have questions, feel free to drop a comment, or, you know, my social media handles, you can hit me up, whatever. I'll answer any of your questions if you want to know, okay? It's definitely, honestly, probably the best time to join now, because they've removed a lot of the disciplinary actions and methods that they used when I was in, due to COVID.
What the correlation is, I don't get it personally, but whatever. I'm not salty or anything.
But it's probably a lot. I don't want to say easy, but it is probably the best time to join the military right now, if you're considering it. You don't gotta join my branch of the army, even though we're the best. Yeah, but you know, everyone has their preference. But yeah, any questions, feel free to hit me up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching.